I would watch. Really like to watch him. Really? Why? He would say, "We're gonna put him in a bucket, but we can't put him in there for too long." Why? He'd say they use their gills to breathe, and they take water, goes over their gill, and they're able to uh, extrude oxygen from the water so that they can breathe, and they exhale carbon dioxide the same way humans breathe air, which is mostly nitrogen, water is mostly hydrogen. But air is mostly nitrogen. There's so much. We're able to and breathe out into carbon dioxide. The trees can take that carbon dioxide into really, is anything else to do that? No, nothing else to create as I mentioned, that he was I'm sure you can do that with it's all there in one book. What are we doing with all these other books? These are special very, very sad history. France actually denounced was the Spanish expulsion of 1392. Moses Cordovero was the child of survivors of that expulsion, probably although I render his name here the traditional spelling of Cordovero, he was actually a Portuguese extraction. He wrote his own name, Cordovero, which ropes, perhaps in the autumn trade, what basically happened to many Spanish, perhaps some of them were 115,000 of them made their way across the land border to Portugal, which is of course the western edge of the Iberian Peninsula, and they received a certain amount of hesitant welcome at first. Definitely qualified and the vast majority of those who crossed into Portugal but it was a short-lived message because 5 years after they arrived in 1992, as part of his dynastic but she goes by Muffy, and a lot of people go by Muffy. They spell all of their tears to make the idea. That's all I'm just supposed to say. Like, normally, I could go on for like 6-7 hours and just about one word. Realize that the Jews are highly. Why? Because that's your nickname. It's like in our family we have Cookie, there's Barbie, there's Dolly. Do I know them all? Cook. Very literate, very literate, and incredibly capable of contributing to the Portuguese economy. So he really didn't want to let them go. Instead, what he
I was asked, do I know anyone who cooks or any cooking?
Through a series of horrific measures, which included, among other things, the removal of children from their parents as a way for to convert mass starvation, mass arrests, until finally in 1497 they baptized the entire Jewish force in Portugal, which placed them in an unusual kind of circumstance because technically they were now Christians. Fashion, so probably Christians enjoyed, but some priests to Brazil. They tried to adopt their Jewish identities once again. In a lot of places like Amsterdam. And one of those destinations for the Portuguese Jewish escapees was Svat. Tremendously scenic town. The background here in northern Israel, with these beautiful vistas. Svat Sofa, which means
Whenever I fuck a girl, we used to talk.
for a very brief
Well, I'm not saying actually. That's not true. But like, we have that kind of relationship. Where it's just like we both know why we're here. There's no problem. So
Spanish
I,
diaspora,
but it's not the concept I look at.
all around.
Well, I always tell them you're gonna walk away from me. They always say that they need, and they how badly they hurt, like their servants. Oh, anyway. So that's the thing, boys. I'd have to teach them. They're just not always better because you can hurt them. And so that's why sidewall is so underappreciated. No girl I've ever known. Well, I mean, maybe in the future it could be, but I mean, you're not getting like maybe if it's business, but it's usually. I'll just say, in my experience, usually I don't want to say my experience, but like don't underestimate sidewalls. I'm thicker than that. Thicker than you. If you have a choke, what's a choke? It's
very executive Italian
Are you done?
So just like
Are you done? So when I was in college, my parents were like, you gotta come shower because they're like, someday, they're like, will you come shower with us? Like, what's the fuck do you mean? They're like, we, after these rides, we shower, we go to dinner, and I would go to dinner with them every day. Really? Another thing, when I didn't go to dinner with them, really? I was there. It wasn't like a full dinner if I didn't go. Really? Yeah, it was like, oh, I was always the chair. They'd have the team, and then I'd be like, okay, now it starts. Really? Yeah. Truthfully, if we were eating it South as a team, and I wasn't there, the whole team wasn't there. Really? So, did you ever have it where everyone was there at South? Oh, yeah, it's not muscle. And free. British.
Let me tell you what exactly is going on in this book that will inspire you
It's good that I don't even really yet. But what is okay? So her sister. Do you have anybody else? Is she pretty? Yeah. What about her? She's older than I was when I was in school. I just started. I'm not saying we were interested in each other because she was always interested in me. And I would say that to keep that really as my friend. It was like I would just be like, he would understand. He was one of the most calm, cool guys I've ever met. Very, very nice, and anyone would ever tell you that and say that. At Harvard, Michigan, 3-sport athlete. Yeah, he's in the top 100 guys all the time. So yeah, he'd be up there, like maybe height. So, yeah. So what? Really, and he was on the team. This is the only person. A couple other guys who did it. They were older. You don't hear about it. The people who I knew who did it or who were doing it, they which actually, here's an interesting thing. I mean, I try to like justify it. So I had a friend of mine. He also watched and had a really wild freshman year. The point where he had some fall in the sewer. He got red-eyed like he got stoned. Did he? Did he get kicked out of his dorm? No, actually, I think a couple other guys. I knew the other guys that got kicked out of his dorm. Freshman. Which is cool. But yeah, I could have ever lived anywhere else outside of Wisconsin. What about the very first level of the oldest memory I have when I was concerned with the first memory I ever had. Oldest as I'm smart. Describe God in such a manner that the angels speak of God as the exalted king. What was that all about? I can't say something. Why? I forgot about this. I always want to see what it looked like inside a dormitory. See, I never knew. Why did they change the name? I don't really know. But as I would understand, is it? How terrible is it? Very wet. I thought I take that breath. That makes this. We'll see. It's close. So exactly the opposite of what God wants me to do, and I can do it with the tools that He has given to me, and He continues to give it to me. That's what I'm going to do with it. We should take that energy from God and convert it to things which God has specifically forbidden to us. To drown. Nevertheless, He continues to keep us sleep. Really? So the university, as I understood, didn't want people to just sleep. They wanted to make them.
Describes how God deals with it. Illustrates how lives.
What are they?
Suggestions.
How would you describe them? They're just like you.
Especially car keys and say now, don't drive.
There's like a lot of people who live in zombies because, and it's different than a fraternity system. Fraternity system, because fraternity system, I always wanted, never. I'd always be like, what is that? They had this sign on Cleveland potato nuts. That's hard, but I don't know. There was always a kid, when I was a kid, they had this potato on Cleveland Road, and it was like, back then, it was kind of far away. What happened? As I understand, I could be wrong, but someone bought a house on Cleveland, and which rented potatoes, and had a sign. In fact, it had a sign, everybody knew what it was. It was on the street. And what was it? It was like the, well, I could be wrong. I think I am wrong. Why? I think it was like a lacrosse house or something like that. That was like, it was just a house and they just put a sign on it. It was not trying to be a fraternity. But when we drove by it, I think my dad said they're trying to be a fraternity because it looked like a fraternity house, looked just like a fraternity house. In fact, when we drove by it, my mom said, one time, whenever we drove by it, my mom said, did you like being in a fraternity? And I was like, yeah. And she said, well, don't you like it or something? I have a fraternity lifestyle. Or fraternity, like she said, well, it's different there. And he's like, I don't think he's going to miss out on some of things that we did. And my mom's like, we would fart and light our farts on fire. So it'd be like, and no one had ever heard of that. I'd never heard of it. I'd never seen it. And that was like a big, to the point where they like burned, he told me that we would burn into the couch cushions. Why? Because the guy farted and light it on fire, and it would literally like light the whole bottom of the couch cushion on fire. A little bit, for a little bit of time, so a little bit of methane in there. Really, yeah. So I remember just when we were driving by there, you're like, yeah, what else is there? Who lives there? My friend Sarah, her mom, her dad, and her brother, and then we was.
And he was a child genius. Remarkably young age, he was already writing and publishing books on public speaking.
Yeah. Anybody else? Did you know live there? No, it has a nice little neighborhood there. But you can drive to that neighborhood. And like back way. But yeah, my friend Sarah talking. She'd be like, all these, did you know all these neighborhoods connect? And I was like, I didn't. Why? Because back then, if you didn't have an overhead map, you didn't know unless you drove every fucking road. And no one really did that unless you were like a mail carrier or newspapers or so what? What'd you do? Sky News? No, she told me that, but they still have that was a college thing. When I said thing, why? Because we were starting to go to places that were far. I didn't know what it was. So I started looking at them on maps. What was your favorite thing about but seriously, you know you can like get these this neighborhood. Oh, okay. But, yeah. There's this little road. What is it's Juniper, which is like Juniper. I was like the only person I ever knew would like look up why streets were like Edamont Street, why the words over there. But I'd be like, why is this street? And a lot of times no one knows. That was the biggest, I would say the biggest questions I have in society are why we do the things that we do. And I've always been doing them that way. But it's been so long and nobody ever wrote down there's like who, what, when, where, why, how. But the why is very, very important. Why did someone do that? Why did they name it Judy? It's like well, it's a Judy. It's like it's tied to trauma. So anyway, Juniper is right there. And they expanded. They didn't expand it. There's something else. One time, when I was a sophomore, I was gonna get a loft. I didn't know with whom I was going to live. I didn't know if we were going to loft or whatever. My dad went to this guy who was right there. He's honest. He was at the corner of what is this? It's right where Cartridge Woods is. And Juniper. Went and we were going to buy a loft. We asked, how much is it? And he's like, XYZ amount. We're going. And where'd you go? Sam's. Really? They had this. It wasn't awesome. But ended up having shotgun it was weird. My dad was anti-Walmart person. I know that they're right next to each other, but he wouldn't go in the Walmart. He would because it's like wholesale kind of guys. He would only go in those guys. Even Walmart was why he did not like Walmart. I don't want to say he didn't like it. He liked it, but and we thought it in the future, like Target or something like that. And I like Walmart. Why? Honestly, this is an interesting thing. Walmart is like has much better produce than Target. It's got 3 fucking pears and orange and grapes. It's like, and it's all like prepackaged. At least Walmart has like kiwi pineapple. Sometimes I don't care if they'll get like interesting stuff like star fruit, coconut, that kind of stuff. Honestly, it's one of the problems, but it's having like a entire Jewish world was like turned upside down in the last quarter century, and this is what these parents lived through. At farmers market, we did not have the same trauma that show. Yeah, just and Target does not change that. It becomes more like Target in the future. Target's kind of the future of what it is. Why? It's like when I go to Target, and that's like bananas. They don't have a lot. They don't have a selection. Really? Yeah, and it's like next to fabric stuff. I don't know. This isn't what I want out of it. But that's what it becomes in the future. At Target. Well, that's Walmart. So back in the day, everyone shit on Walmart. That's been and now it would be like, oh, it's Target. Even with Target, it would be like Walmart becomes why? They don't want to be shit on it. Really? Would you Your dad built this fucking little company, Pentonville, Arkansas, not that long ago. 70 years ago? No one ever heard of Walmart. Really?
Whether or not they were medical, they couldn't burn them because they might have been holy, and they couldn't return them to it because they suspected
I was just blind. I know that myself.
from his lost sight. So somewhere on the chest
So the
of
Walmart family owns
moved to Amsterdam, exhausted,
when was this?
spent years
Walmart is now
decided to move to Israel.
so it was exactly
Where he died as well. He played all around the world.
6 years. 7 years.
In terms of his love,
Lord Sam Walker became the richest man. It was founded in Rogers, Arkansas.
Basically, what he does is he takes
Oh, so it's headquartered in Benton. But there's something to this. It wasn't started in. So that's the thing I'm wrong about. I a lot of times said it started in Bentonville, Arkansas. It was started in Rogers, Arkansas.
caution, and then you proceed to alacrity, speed, and the third level is called cleanliness. Each of those levels
But
refer to a certain kind of
let's see,
personality
fuck
orientation.
one of these bitches' names. Bitches' lives. Sam Walton. Okay, the original Walton's 5 and that was in Bentonville, and now so that's why I think it's special. But it's actually
Times. In 1991,
oh, so there's former JC Penney's part of it. So in front of So it was Walmart. I think they go. I don't understand why they don't use that. Why they use this fucking hyphenated wall space. Really? Walmart discounts. Isn't it just Walmart? Then they get this fucking hyphenated shit.
the version that most people have studied is essentially kind of like a didactic.
And I could see why, because it probably was like people were Sam Walton didn't want people calling it
What these levels are and how to get from
Walmart. Walmart.
dialogue.
He's like, no, it's not that. Walmart. He probably was. I don't want people calling it Walmart. He's like, oh, but I'm gonna just do it. And then it's that. I think they go back to that, but no hyphen. Oh, there you go. That one. So 1990 was real much. We've shown it before. It's like it exploded. And then it just has an experience. It's not like this, but it doesn't need to. I'm not saying that. It needs to now work on the delivery. It has enough responsibility. Work on it being open 24 hours a day, delivery, Walmart. It'll be like somebody comes to your house. Oh, they did change it to Walmart. Oh, so I like how in popular culture they only have two things for porn. Oh, but here's the thing. This, no, I want to get one of these babies. So I want these. No, there's some girl, Alice. Hey, Alice. Alice, mom. You are the second richest woman in the world. I'm gonna fucking what about you? Oh, I don't really care about that. What do I care about? The fact that in her lifetime, because she's really done nothing. Well, I'm not saying that again. I just said about her company or whatever, but like, she's just this woman. Like was born, and her dad was like working in a JC Penney. He had started with 5 times, but it was like she's seen. That's a beautiful story. She's seen through her eyes a life of where I guess let's take her net worth. When she was born, her net worth was like nothing, of course, but like, her father was probably worth 5 figures, no more than that. So, and she watched him get to 6 would be 100,000, 7 would be 1 million, 8 would be 10 million, 9 would be 100 million, 10 would be 1 billion. So she watched him double the amount of cemetery. That's a good story. She's still obvious to the previous generation. Now suddenly comes through everything from gender to objectified, empirical truth, highly politicized, highly politicized, and partisan issues. Things that are going on today in the context of I love this artist song. How to manage the virus. It's incredible. How are we supposed to navigate something that's impassable chasms? I would like to suggest that perhaps one of the greatest things I've learned taking you home. Hoping for slow song. I'm not ready to shut down. Hitting your ass, making it voice every day. I'm on my mind, home. Stamping this car, throwing the car. Open the doors, around the top store in the security car. The car lights, street flashing. Live God, but used up on the very last time. She said the woman in our world. She Oh, so I went to. It's like going to Holocaust Museum. Why? Why didn't you go to Holocaust Museum? Well, I click on ESPN, but did I not say that? But why? ESPN Zone had games, sports, food. What does the Holocaust Museum have? And we took so much shit from my friends. They're like, why didn't you go to Holocaust Museum? You went to ESPN Zone. Did you not know this? They're like, yeah, you went to ESPN Zone. I was like, I know. Why didn't you? They're like, because we went to the National Holocaust Museum. I was like, did you go to ESPN Zone? Didn't think so. They're like, you could go to ESPN Zone in Chicago. They said I did go to ESPN Zone in Chicago. And I went to it. Really? ESPN Zone was one of the coolest fucking things ever. Fine. Really? Shut up. Can I talk to you? What? I would tell him I want to talk to him. Shut up if you're seeing this, or John and Dick. It's not that I'm ready. Anything. I can't. And they know. Really? Yeah. Are you done? Yeah. And then you're really good. Right? We got something. Oh, I was talking about my friend. Oh, he looks like this. Love, but to me, it's nothing counterfeit. I get done with one, move right on to another bitch. College educated, she graduated. And bills came from her parents paid it. The show was fun. You all on liquor cart and your girlfriends. But they in the fan feeling because she made it. Most girls put hashtag really chase it. But you just want to get drunk tonight and fuck someone famous. So I just name the time and the place. And you're game for it. Value player, hotel room, meet you there. Over in a dream. How can I explain it? Talking to myself, will I see again?
We are always running for the thrill of it. Always pushing up the hill, searching for the thrill of it. On and on we are calling out and again. We're looking down, I'm just in awe of what's in front of me. Fuck the room, but run the whole wing. Bitches are heavy gang, they just wanna know where the place at. Got drunk, go to sleep, fucked up. We both remains that we just done. Mixing drinks, knowing we regret this. Ain't getting sleep, got room serving us breakfast. Endless money, darling, what else is left to do? But smoking and giving presidential view. Got a swimming pool in my living room. On the stage, in a view, tons of salad, let's consume. We are always running for the thrill of it. Always pushing up the hill, searching for the thrill of it. On and on we on, coming on again. Look at just the yeah. Fuck the room, we buy the whole thing. Bitches, I can't again. They just wanna know where the party's at. Fuck the room, we buy the whole way. Bitches, I can't again. They just wanna know where the party's at. It was up as a thing. I used to start every morning when I was on. Well, I'm the champagne. Fuck the room, we buy the whole room. Bitches, I can't again. They just wanna know where the party's at. Fuck the room, we buy the whole way. Bitches are gathered back. They just wanna know where the party's at. Who is it? No, who's that kid? Coach's son? No, fuck that coach. Good. You know my ass never opened up to you. The best of text means that I'll never say it yet. You walked in my life at 2 a.m. and now I'm gonna sleep on your best friend. Like I did you, the crazy I don't Really? That thing's gonna fall. Really? Are you done? Yeah, come on. You done? Yes. What's that? What's that? What else? What's your favorite? I have this like kind of music. I just call it hungo. Hungo? What's hungo? And I just wait hungover. Like every day. I'm gonna call it. Really? I don't know how I did it. Really? I don't know how I party every single fucking day for 3 solid years, which would expand that arc. Aside from Junior Parent Weekend, but JP does. Why? Why? The only thing I ever want to do in some kind of futuristic world, I want to go to my grandparents before I have time. But any other time, oh my god, I would plot with them. We're from there, like 5 kilometers. Like 3. We go left on iron. Get the fuck out. But, yeah. Okay, so this guy owns a bar. It's like right now, it's really, yeah. And what? I used to listen to stuff in college, but you are. What? I just love how it started. I love everything about this song. And he owns this bar. And I gave a girl her first kiss outside that bar. And a different girl the same night, I had my first allegedly Jaeger bar, right? So, I could never had Monster anything. Can you forget about the things you said when I was young? I didn't mean to call you back. I can't remember what was said or what you threw at me. Please tell me why. My car's in the front yard, and I'm sleeping with my clothes on. Can I do my job? Last night, gone. It's no surprise to me, I am my own worst enemy. 'Cause every now and then I get living shit out of me. The smoke alarm is going up and there's a cigarette still burning. Please tell me why. My car's in the front yard and I'm sleeping with my clothes on. I can't with love last night and gone. But anyway, yeah. My car's in the front yard, and I'm sleeping with my clothes on. I came through the window last night, and you're no surprise to me. I am my own worst enemy. Cause every now and then I get the really shit out of me. Let me forget about the things I said when I was drunk. I did. I like this song a lot. Why? I emphasize it completely. Firstly, what's going on? Why? It's just like it wakes up. It's like, can we forgive? Like, can we just forget about that? Like, no, we can't. Is there any kind of like a time machine? It's a song about what the time travel, and it's very cool. Really, yeah, but that guy's really cool. He did that fucking thing for VH1, but he owns a bar, and those become super big, and that becomes super big bars, right? Really, I just live right down the road. Soho, that whole area. I went there. This one guy named Joe. Hello, and I'm like, that's how it fucking looks. He knows this guy. I think one day becomes one of the lightning guys. Who's Joe Lightning? But yeah, I'm most of lightning, so it's good. I'll help him with that name. But yeah, but anyway, he likes that name. He was a 3L and I was a 1L, and that meant he's like an older guy, Jewish kid out here who was not keeping anywhere culture, driving Mercedes Benz, living in Beverly Hills. It's like that's not. Some of us may be Jewish, but others, as I understood, it's like whatever. It's just a Persian kid out here, and the key to him was no one could really pronounce those things. How to spell it. Some of these Persian last names are so. I have this one friend, Hanukkah. Anyway, but he'll eventually return. But help to manage the lighting. But yeah, why? You'll see people like changing it like 7 years to like go through the process. Anyway, I was in Fullerton and we went to what you call pub crawl, but it was like a club crawl. Pub crawl. I guess it's a thing. Pub crawl? Yeah, but I'm not like sure that it's always just a pub crawl. We go from like a bar, one bar after another, with a bunch of people, and you spend a given amount of time there, and you go to another one. Is it fun? Yeah, it's a ton of fun. I wouldn't say I haven't done that many of them. Jewish symbols, and until it was why? Because I would by the Star of David. I get trouble if I drink. I get trouble because I don't have enough money to do it to get Ubers, to get taxis, to be able to get bottle service and cabs. Here's a typical example of the menorah from a 1953 photograph. See that it's usually depicted in college. One night, and there was some branches, whereas this guy knew some people, and we could go to all the bars there. Also, the oversized dreidel here, which I'm not sure why it's quite so big, but perhaps it is an attempt to not eventually require the size, but also niche, very important. We just went from I don't remember. I was at any rate. Like we went from bar to bar to bar, like. Kind of, I wanted to say it like that, and it was like I just remember all this colors. Yeah, it was a lot of fun, and they were all down there. But yeah, so I've been to all the bars down there. You will see this particular representation in lots of public Junkie Month or something like that. Signal the Chabad movement at this time of year, and also on the tops of minivans, like in this. That's right. Where I was walking. The leader of Chabad movement, Rabbi was very adamant in indicating that this is the appropriate shape of the menorah, and that's why his followers to this day also tend to she's cool. She's lived two followers. Evidence to support this particular design is specifically associated and I used like what's my reference? Very important medieval scholar lived in it was some kind of theme. All these places had a theme. Really? Yeah, but no, this place had a theme as well. And it was her suggestion. Really? No room for doubt argued that the branches should be straight.
Besides Abraham's explicit statement about his father's views, we also have a medieval manuscript in the Oxford Library that has a hand-drawn menorah, and here you can see it looks kind of strange with these round
And how funny
symbols
is
and
this?
these
I'm so
triangles,
innocent.
these
I was
cups,
like,
and so on
I was a
that are
virgin,
actually described
and I
in the
was
biblical
like
text, which
really,
instead
really nervous to
the
tell her.
biblical text gave us a
And she was divorced, and she was
to the
really
question whether they were round or straight.
and here we are, like two really innocent people,
This
and
drawing
I'm
in
like,
this medieval manuscript of my
I have
memories
some.
clearly indicates that his opinion is that they should be straight. Other
What
authorities
I'm
from that
out of
period,
law
however,
school,
left
and I didn't
either
realize how far away you lived.
or
And you live like 3 hours away. We were gonna go to a movie or something.
evidence for
She had, my friend was like, I would suggest it. We
are
should
significant as well.
It's like,
So perhaps the most well known is the representation
all
of
fucking
the
thing, fucking
menorah
I was
on
like,
the Arch of
because he
Titus.
saw this girl.
The Arch of
He
Titus
was with
was a
me when we
ceremonial arch that constructed in the late
like,
first century under the Emperor
That
Domitian.
girl's super
And
hot.
it was
But
designed as a type of
I was like, she lives too far away. I don't have enough money to pay her. Anyway, so what'd you do? I just
on the
talked about
inside
this
of
shit.
the arch, you can see there's a bas relief that actually presents
That was the first time.
carrying away of spoils
Is
from
it?
the temple.
Yeah. The second
And
time.
the menorah is prominently displayed
You
here.
could-
Clearly
You went out
having
3
round
times? No,
arms, and
she
this is,
she came after the first night.
informative with
The second
depiction
night,
that we have from
we went
Josephus,
to-
who was the major historian of
We were
that
not. It
period.
was nice.
What is significantly at dispute
Why don't
is
you
the
look at
base
me?
of the menorah, which does not conform to other descriptions at
I
all.
told her
But we're
I
going to
law
focus
school
specifically
started
on
up
the
and I had
shape
just
of the
started.
arms for
I
now.
got my second
So
semester. I
the
thought I had
question is, do we rely
yeah, we did
on
go.
Josephus
I wanted to let her down.
and
Really? Yeah, in person. So
which seem to have
we
some
went. We were gonna go to
validity,
a movie.
or
That's how she was
rely
dressed.
on
I said,
thinkers
let's go to
like
dinner
my
and movies. We went to this Greek restaurant. Allegedly.
if you look at some of the
And
rest of
I
the
told
first
her
century archaeological evidence,
I
in particular, I'm going to rely
wanted
very
to
heavily on the research of the
focus on law school,
professor
and
at the university,
which I
is so
did,
amazing.
and I didn't have time for a
It's
class.
also done
3
some
hours.
remarkable work with indoors.
She's like, well, it's not that far. I'm
Professor
like,
Levine,
I still don't know on the map
several
where
other
it is.
examples
It was
that
to Mecca.
come from the late Second Temple period that is right up
Yeah.
until the destruction of the temple.
Then she's like, well, I work. Well, I know she's trying to make her. She's like, but I work
This
in Corona.
archaeological remain of
I think it's
Jason.
where this was.
This is
And I was like,
tomb from the era
or no,
of
she didn't. She worked
Hashmonaim
like,
that is the Maccabean
she worked like an
generation
hour
of
away
kings
from where
of
she
Israel.
lived.
And this is a
But it
tomb
was
that's
like, it
located
only made it like a 2-hour drive or something. And I was like,
Go up closer to this
that's
arch,
still
you'll see that there's actually
extremely,
some
extremely
arms that
far
are placed there
when you understand, you have to understand this.
themselves.
I explained to her, 2 hours to me is studying as opposed to like going to see it is and then from that story, but I told her, I told her, there's something that I didn't tell you. Actually, I'm virgin, and like,
not sure what to do.
Why?
That's another story there. She got out. She's okay. She's living in Jersey
Yeah,
now.
that's so nice. It's like,
Okay. Anyways,
you're such a rarity. And that's so admirable and
interesting
things. And
graffiti.
she's like, well, I have
Look
something.
at this image from Professor Levine's book. You can see that number 3 there, there's kind of a stag, and below
I
it
think
there's an interesting
she's maybe 24 at
and
the
then
time.
number 4
25
is 5
And I was
representations of
23.
menorah.
Maybe she was 26.
Obviously,
No.
but they alternately have gently
Not that-
curving branches. So
But
it's
I think she's
impossible
maybe
to
25.
say
I was
how
20.
this connects.
Yeah,
to
because
the
it wasn't
menorah.
ever. I knew she was a little older than I was. So
It's
some of us.
reasonable to assume that
I went
the,
3 girls in a row.
artist here is trying to
Really?
mark
3.
walls with some kind of Jewish symbol.
Technically 4.
But it's also difficult
One of
to
them
say
was
when
the same.
exactly this
Yeah,
graffiti was
well,
inscribed into the walls.
She was
and
a
whether or not
Was she?
the artist,
Yeah, but like 6 months.
was actually familiar with the shape
Anybody
of
else?
the So let's skip past this particular example, although it's quite tempting.
Then it,
But we also have a coin that's printed by King Antigonus in
Okay, are you done, big boy?
37 before the Common Era. This is one of the kings of the Hashmonaim, and one may assume that he
What
had
was your
a
story?
good
You
look
said
at
a
the
story
entire
about
menorah. And this particular coin also represents the arms of the menorah as gently curved. And finally, there are a few other
I mean, this has to be funny in Judaism. Somebody's got to think this is funny. Okay, I gotta tell a story. About ESPN, yeah. So people don't know what ESPN is. What is it? It's like a big arcade that has food and a lot of people would call it a sports bar, but it's kind of like a Dave and Buster's, which is actually that kind of shit. And that's what becomes big. So ESPN doesn't become big yet. Dave and Buster's. They didn't have a Dave and Buster's before. Have you ever been to one?
There is some archaeological evidence that suggests that may be.
Yeah, actually, I'm wrong.
We found this
Cousin
short
Tommy
video entertaining and
had a birthday party or
inspirational as you light your Hanukkah menorah this year.
or something.
I mentioned that I'm hoping to produce a
And it
series
was a
of
ton of
videos on Jewish
And what was it?
artists over the course of the next few months in connection with my
It was like everybody got a certain amount of tokens for the party they had. And was it fun? Yeah, I don't really remember. I remember it was in Chicago. And he had two parties like that. One was really, really big. That one, though, was amazing. Was it was still big, but it wasn't the facility was big. Was it? Yeah, Fun Records is different.
I think it's going to be an absolutely amazing course. I hope you enjoyed this video.
What's that thing
Wish
called?
you a lifting and Hanukkah. Thanks very much for watching.
Dave and Buster's. Why? Like that. My last name is ER. My nickname was Little Boy was Buster. Buster Brown. Why? Really? But the Brown family somehow that seems to be our Brown family is Jones is in a Brown. Something about that. But done Big Dog? Yeah.
We had a very basic understanding of what Hanukkah was from our most essential sources. But it is only
Are you gonna be quiet before holidays are done? Yeah, it's too much shit. And Jews will tell you that. And not even Israelis do it this long. It's too much. But, maybe we'll make like a 3-day week shit actually. But, anyway, what? Alright, so ESPN though, because I could Dave and Buster's, but I think it was better. Why? Because it was ESPN, so it was Disney, and there's just something about how Disney stuff that just, you know, what is it? They hire very giant and but the artistry, the art that they have behind it is Hey, Roy, hello, Roy E. Are you down? Is that Dr. Noah? Hey, are you No, I'm just thinking, yo, if we do E-Day, here's the thing about this. If we do it, what do you mean if? When? Can the computer code? So, what should you do?
We had to run to the wolf pack.
Fabricated does not seem to correspond to any of the material that we have reliable techniques. So in terms of understanding
We had to make the combo just packs.
events,
Wolf pack to Navy.
it's not especially helpful.
It was a convoy attack where the second. Notice they call it separate. Why? That's a good way to do it. Why? Because if you put World War, you don't know which one it is. If you say second, you don't exactly know. Depends by the you go to the Kriegsmarine, you battle the Atlantic, and by the United States. The idea of the coordinated submarine combos and frustrating research for war had no success in the Atlantic. That was the second, why the German Israel success in the Pacific.
These are books that the rabbis, for one reason or another, decided not to publish. Lots of these works that are written by different people with different perspectives. And the rabbis
Alright, so there we go.
Jewish scriptures, so they were set aside. The Christian is
So what?
translation and preserved them.
Get a thing of $10.
So there's a whole section of the Catholic Bible that has all these really often wildly reliable, except for our purposes of and they tell us a lot about life in ancient Israel. So from a religious perspective, these are definitely, but from a historical perspective, they are very game. But Josephus, seeing that he was about to be conquered and killed, decided to switch sides, and he joined the Romans. Turned out to be a very valuable translator for the Romans, and after the rebellion had ended with the defeat of the Jews in the Native land, Josephus went on to a really illustrious career as essentially a court historian. He was extremely prolific, massive historian of antiquities of the Jews, which is essentially the history of the Jews since Genesis. And he was very good himself, so much source for Jewish war. He's a problematic figure in many ways, as I just mentioned. Switch sides. For example, the Jewish war that he wrote in Aramaic has been lost, so we don't know how he would explain his position to the Jewish audience, but to the broader audience, essentially tells everything about Jewish history to Romans and Greeks, and then also translated of the Jewish people. Josephus gives us a lot of history about the Maccabees, actually, which fits with the description of the first Maccabees itself, why it happened, so let's talk about those other things. So what's going on here is that you have
Jesus, spread it too much.
inside the Jewish people, which is really focused on days, and has a very superficial historical account of why the Jews were born in the first place, and how the war unfolded, and how it ended, and how we got
How are you gonna go?
Also issues
You can't get them in one shot. That
which is even more problematic. But at any rate,
is it impossible?
rabbis elected to not put too much emphasis on historical history, but we do have the history preserved, ironically, in Christian and in Roman collections. So this begins to come together in the 10th century in southern Italy. There was a large Jewish population. And here you have an author who's called Sefer Yosifon. Yosifon is completely derived from Josephus, and although the author made some really egregious errors, like calling Josephus, son of Turion, when we know his father's name was Matisiah. It's unusual, but nonetheless, it's kind of like an adaptation of Josephus for a Jewish audience now. First time publicly talking about kind of sources that have been much more popular among Christians, have been much more available to professional historians. The only problem, one of the most important problems of Sefer Yosifon is that the author did not know any Greek, so he
We're doing
didn't Josephus, the original.
To where?
Relied on Latin translation, which was not the best translation, and it was also partial. It didn't have access to the entire corpus of Josephus'
Why are you
He actually wrote quite a bit in several different places. But he also had the
I bet this could have been
he had the Latin translation
more.
of the Maccabees. So it's only in the 10th century we get to Jews actually, historians looking back and saying, wow, that's such a fascinating story. Why don't we know more about it? And seeing and looking at these other sources and filling in flesh on the story that you have at the time, giving us a much more robust picture. There are many pictures in this fragmentary nature of the sources that has nevertheless hugely forward Jewish self-understanding of the so much so that someone is still studying to this day, including this amazing Yiddish edition that came out in 2020. It's a
So you want these guys to?
so fascinating that
So you
all kinds
want
of
these
people
guys
still
to?
study Sacred Yosef. This is a 10th century adaptation
How about this one?
this
This
together
guy's kind of
because this is Jonathan Sachs, who was oral education, not
Are you done?
Sachs really emphasized how it's not just Jews. Communicated to themselves. That story has tremendous implications for the entire world. So here's a citation. What other cultures have done through systems, Jews have done through stories. And in Judaism, stories are not engraved in stone memorials. Magnificent ideas. We are told that values are still shared as the gift of the past. That is how storytelling in Judaism is well investigated. There are stories that end others that still leaving us prisoners. Impossible ambitions. Jewish story is in its way the oldest of all. Tells us our ancestors. Storytelling is the great vehicle of world education. It was the Torah's insight that their children freedom and its responsibilities would stay free for as long as humankind lives.
I think a good thing would be to get these things.
Next generation.
These cities would just get self-sufficient. They're not.
special to discuss with you today. I'd like to do a very quick book review of this remarkable book that just came my way recently. It is by Rabbi Schwartz, who made Schwartz, and it's called amazed at that title, but let me translate it to English. It is the valley or the depth of the donut. Studies and clarifications of the custom of eating donuts on Hanukkah. Now, you will recall if you're following the series that a few weeks ago, I had giving a class on Yacharonim, and I happened to mention this book, which I had seen online but never actually picked up. And I was fascinated. There's something to write. There's this, book is 431 pages long, mainly double column pages like this, all on the custom of eating donuts on Hanukkah. And I was like amazed. This is the double amazing thing. One of the members of our regular class is actually the mother of Rabbi Schwartz. And she said, "Oh my gosh, that's my son's book." And she got me a copy, and I was so excited. And so I began reading it just before Hanukkah. And then my wife sent me out to buy donuts, and I ended up spending like a ridiculous amount of money on donuts. But now I knew what I was doing. Okay, so let me tell you a little bit about what's in this book, and specifically let's connect it to Jewish history. So this is actually part 3 of a series of books on the commandment and the custom of eating on Hanukkah. It's also quite fascinating.
So how many donuts are you eating?
Let me just also clarify for those who basically provide these donuts. In Jewish law, there are basically 3 avenues of brain activities. There are laws, which means that they are either explicitly stated in the Torah itself or in closely rabbinic works like the Mishnah. And then there are rabbinic laws, which are laws which are made by the rabbis, sometimes hundreds of years later, in order to protect the Torah laws. For example, it is to write on the Sabbath, the rabbis may add a law saying to handle writing images on the Sabbath, because if you're handling a pen or something, you may come to actually write, which would be a transgression of the Torah. So these are like concentric circles. And then the outside circle is something which is called minhag, or custom. And these are things which, no rabbi actually said, hey, we have to actually do this from now on, but there are things that seem to be kind of like natural outgrowths of Jewish practice and related to its practice, in particular when it comes to foods and things like that, but they become really closely tied to Jewish practices. So you have these 3 concentric circles, and one should not disdain that outer level of minhag, which is in many ways an expression of desires, the popular desires of eating of donuts on the holiday of Hanukkah clearly falls within that outermost range of minhag custom. And it is associated specifically with oil, right? The whole practice of the preparation of the holiday of Hanukkah has to do with lighting oil, right? And we use candles as well, but the best way to do that particular method is to light with oil, specifically olive oil. And since donuts are made with oil, then they become a very appropriate food to eat on Hanukkah, just like latkes are. But we'll get to latkes in just a bit. One other quick note, that's in the masculine. It should be sukkah, right? That's the term used by sukkah. It's like literature, there are references to donuts in the literature, Sector Chala, and there it is in the masculine. So the sukkah is kind of like an irregular feminine that has been added in modern times. The rabbis of the Talmud and the Mishnah would certainly refer to their donuts in the masculine. The word comes from the root safak, which means sponge, like in sea sponge, and in fact the word sufganiyot and the word sponge in English all come from that same root. And obviously it's connected to the sea sponge because, it's shaped sort of like a jelly donut. It has kind of like a fluffy quality, like a jelly donut, so that's why the donuts were named after the sponge. Now, historically, I was remarkably amazed to see that the first reference to eating donuts on Hanukkah actually dates all the way to the 12th century. I thought it was a much more modern thing, but it's a 12th century reference, and it comes from none other than Rabbi Maimon, father of the Maimonides. Maimonides means son of so that would be referred to Maimonides for sure.
When I saw her,
In southern Spain,
so
possibly North Africa,
she's pretty,
that would be in the 12th
but
century.
you can tell
And then
she's
in the
really
following
cute.
century,
Red glasses. I hadn't seen red glasses since I just I was trying to say towards you. So that's what that was.
extremely
Yeah.
Ashkenazi
Yeah.
started living there.
I was so hungry. I was really trying to get emotional.
About the importance of eating donuts on Hanukkah. So clearly, by the 12th and 13th century, this was a widespread practice. Who knows how much further back it goes with those of the earliest references to it as a common practice, both in Sephardic lands and at least through the Ashkenazi portion of Provence in Ashkenazi lands. Now, this book is not a history, it is a halachic sefer, Jewish law. So there's a lot of discussion here on how this would behave with regards to this custom. You should eat donuts, how much donuts you eat. I tend to be very strict. Lots of donuts. When you should not eat donuts doesn't count at night or daytime as well. The blessing over donuts in this section, not at all obvious because
I ate 3 of them. I was so hungry, and I remember the looks that these people, yeah, you fucking
So I'm not going to go into those details.
Yeah,
I will
why was I
summarize
so hungry?
4 quick
I would go,
things.
get one, eat it in the hallway, come back, eat another one, and a third. And I remember at that point they're like, no more. Oh, they were starting to come in half.
And so, check with your local Orthodox rabbi.
Yeah, why? Because I have I
This is the time to try to get part of this. Secondly, it should be free. Yes, it's really hard, kind of like Montreal style bagel donuts. They're not donuts in it, fulfilling the full sense of the word. Donuts also have a connection to the sacrificial flour offering by the temple. This can also be third, and this is like a especially for American audiences. That's right. It's the ideal donut for Hanukkah does not have a hole. That hole in the middle, it's like an American invention. It's like almost heresy.
I love it. Why? I've always known about
Which custard and jelly or what have you, because like you have the Torah, which has the exterior obvious
That's about ESPN time. Oh, so if I have a game at the you're playing on the story. What? You ever go to the Holocaust much? Questions like this. People have been there. Few questions. And it was like, we were trying to do as much stuff as possible. That was our goal. Really? Yeah. You gotta tell a story. So, bread on a stick
constitutes an important day in the Jewish historical calendar. It falls this year on the 14th of December. And in fact, it is marked with a fast. If you are in any doubt as to whether or not you're obligated to fast, don't ask me. Contrary to popular perception, I am not a rabbi. Please seek your spiritual guide. But why we're talking about the 10th of Tavet is specifically in its historical context. What exactly happened on this day, and why is it significant to Jews? Some 2,600 years later. Specifically, on this day in the year 580 before the Common Era, this is when the siege of Jerusalem begins. We have some textual evidence of this in the book of Kings, second book of Kings, in which it reads, in the 9th year of his reign, on the 10th day of the 10th month, right, that's the 10th of Tavet, Nebuchadnezzar moved against Jerusalem with his entire army. He besieged it, and they built towers and placed it all around. This siege extended for over a year. It was an incredibly brutal siege that was marked by
You just knew when you were in class. I mean, you didn't know if somebody got AIDS.
Terrible events are described in the Book of Lamentations and elsewhere.
We didn't even know
Finally, on the 9th day of the month of Av, Jerusalem was entirely sacked.
That's
The
right.
temple was burned, and we've spoken about that in other contexts. One of the most significant extra biblical texts that refers to this is this document here, which is called the Babylonian Chronicle.
That sounds amazing.
This
Oh, they don't
specifically
have
is
grades
the
here?
Jerusalem Chronicle because it has a
I
reference
fucking had grades
to
like a
Jerusalem in it, and the month of Kislev,
What would-
which would have
though,
been around this
hold on.
time of the year.
They
The
changed
king
it.
of Babylon assembled
That's
his
what it
army, and after he invaded
That's
the
what
land
it was.
of
You
Hittite,
didn't get grades.
Turkey or
It
Syria
was a
region,
school
he
for a
laid
long
siege
time.
to
I
the
think you
city
did not
of
get
Judah.
grades.
On the second day of the month of
Like,
Adar, he conquered the
what do you
city,
mean?
and he took the king
They
prisoner,
didn't share
installed
with
in
the
place
students.
another king of his own
And when
choice. After he
the
received
parents
the
would
rich
come in,
tribute, he
they
sent
would just tell them
Babylon,
verbally
right?
how they
So
were doing with
Jerusalem
words,
was
but it
part
wasn't
of
ever
the
like their
massive
at A
Babylonian
or B
empire
or
at this
C or
point.
D.
It was not
Now,
destroyed, as you can see
that
here. This map
changed
shows
when the
just
school
how
became a little bit bigger.
tremendous an
In the
expanse
beginning
was the extent of the Babylonian Empire. But a few years later, relations went even more sour, and that's when Nebuchadnezzar laid siege to Jerusalem on the 10th of Tavet and ultimately destroyed it. Fascinatingly, there's been some really interesting archaeological discoveries in recent years, including these remarkable arrowheads, which are Scythian arrowheads from the 7th and 6th century before the Common Era, and they were the ones commonly used by Nebuchadnezzar's army. It can be dated with other examples
They're different
of other
generations.
campaigns. One of my
Because it
favorite
started in the
writers of
80s.
popular
You were there
archaeology
20
for the
years
times of
later.
Israel's
One
Rabbi before Sheldon.
Did any of the
Whenever I
kids
see her
have
byline, I have to
check
read
them
her
out?
because it's usually quite fascinating.
She
And
was
this
fat.
article certainly
She was
does not
fat.
disappoint at all. There's a new PhD dissertation that just came out recently that looks at some of the remains from that early
She and
destruction.
her husband.
And as Ms. Dan points out, they may even hold the key to protecting the planet. Okay, so let's try and figure this out. This is kind of complicated scientific stuff, but nevertheless, I'll try to explain it as best I can. So this PhD candidate, Yoav Akmi, did an excavation in the city of David's Givati parking lot.
Oh, yes, these are you got Stephen. You got Stephen.
He discovered that
You got
minerals
Stephen.
embedded in the chunks of an ancient floor from the House of Jerusalem were heated beyond 932 degrees Fahrenheit, 500 degrees Celsius. And apparently that's consistent, of course, with the idea of the destruction of the city. Now, Yoav Akmi is an expert in this emerging science of archaeomagnetism, which is basically another way of dating things by looking at their magnetic field, which is really quite fascinating. Apparently, when things are 32 degrees Fahrenheit or 500 degrees Celsius, it kind of locks in the magnetic
The two best guys.
field of the object at that particular time, which corresponds to whatever the magnetic field of the Earth is.
Steve Smith. You got Stephen A.
You should note that the magnetic field of Earth
You got
changes
you got
frequency over large periods of time. And so, therefore, by taking the tools of traditional archaeology, dating this area to the destruction of the first temple in 586, and by looking at the magnetic field literally of the bits of floor dust that's in there, they're able to determine what does Earth's magnetic field look like 2,600 years ago.
So what's your
Now,
story?
this is really exciting to anyone
so
who's fascinated with Jewish history and
I'm
archaeology
hanging
as
out.
I am.
I'm the
But
last of my
it's
class.
really important for all of us because
Really?
apparently it would be
Yeah, and I take pride in that. But
has a tremendous role
and
to
again,
play in protecting the Earth's climate from all kinds of, sun's radiation. And when the magnetic field declines, apparently that's not a healthy thing for our planet. So by getting a distinct measure of what the magnetic field was like back then, scientists are able to use this as an important data point in trying to figure out how to protect all of us from the devastating climactic change that we're experiencing also. I think this is so fascinating. I hope you enjoyed it as well. And I hope that you, like I, perceive just the tiny seeds of redemption that can be discovered in the ashes, literally, of destruction firsthand. And this, to my mind, if we can return for a second to the biblical text, makes me think of a passage in Zechariah, chapter 8, verse 19. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the fast of the 4th month, the fast of the 5th month, the fast of the 7th month, and the fast of the 10th month, that's this month, the 10th day is, shall become occasions for joy and gladness, happy festivals for the house of Judah, but you must love honesty and integrity. Words of Zechariah. I hope that for those who are fasting is an easy and meaningful one. Thank you very much for watching. This is truly an honor to be speaking to distinguished scholars, particularly in the Asian world. I have long, appreciated the tremendous contributions that your cultures have made to world civilization, and I have to say on a personal level, to my own diet, because I am a very devoted fan of Asian food. As anyone who watches my lectures will know, I have to refer to that at least once every 3 or 4 hours. But my goal, the task that Professor Katz has given me is to speak in 20 minutes on Jewish religious practices, which is a task akin to Pharaoh's asking the Jews to make bricks without straw, because it is virtually impossible to say anything meaningful about the tremendous amount of detail involved in Jewish religious practices, but nevertheless, given the illustrious nature of the colleagues speaking today, Mr. Grill, I've long admired his work, and also Robinson Greenberg, who wrote some really seminal works, great things I decided to do something. So my goal for today is to try and see something meaningful about this complex set of ideas. I'm going to do it in such a way that I hope will be accessible both to people who have very little familiarity with Jewish practice, and at the same time will be moderately entertaining for those of us in this call, particularly those of us from the Western regions who are more familiar. Let me begin first of all with a sense of mission. Here's another reference visually to Pharaoh and the straw. This is Charlton Heston in his magisterial representation of Moses, the lawgiver, just before he split the Red Sea. So to give us some context as to who are the Jewish people, we have a look at these 3 maps, which are to scale. The Jewish people, of course, owe their spiritual and historical origins to the land of Israel, which is outsized in much of the world media. If we had boundaries in Israel that corresponded to the amount of text that you would see, for example, in the New York Times and Washington Post, we would probably the size of Middle East France. But in reality, it's just 22,000 square kilometers, about the same size as the New York State, the United States state of New Jersey, and about 1/3 the size of Sri Lanka, where most of you guys are watching this from. The population of Jews in contemporary Israel is about 9.4 million, roughly the same as New Jersey as well, but less than half of the Sri Lankan population are roughly equal to just Buddhist members of the country. In terms of the diaspora, meaning the number of expatriate Jews, over 2,000 years of exile since the Roman destruction of the last Jewish state in the ancient world, in the 20th century. There are about 17 million Jews worldwide, which is about the same number as all Buddhists in Sri Lanka alone. So we're talking about a very small population, although not as small as the number of Jews in Sri Lanka today, which is about 50, as I learned from one of the Hasidic movements that is active in Sri Lanka today, the Rabbi. Now, I cannot resist, since I am the first Western speaker, and I realize that many of you on this call may never have heard this joke. I have to start with this joke, which I think is very illustrative. If not of the reality of Jewish-Buddhist relations, which should certainly go back over 1,000 years, nevertheless, it is representative of the contemporary Western Jewish understanding of flawed status of Buddhism. Connection between Jews and Buddhism was quite rich. I love that since the 1970s years, huge surge in popularity of Buddhism, particularly among Jews, and as a result, many explore Islam. So the joke goes like this. There is a woman who is sitting in Boca Raton, Florida, sitting with her friends playing a game of mahjong. She throws down her tiles and she says, "That's it, I'm going to Tibet." I'm sure my distinguished colleague Nathan Katz is familiar with that version of this joke. At any rate, her friends say, "You're going to Tibet? What are you talking about? It's so far away." So she says, "No, I made up my mind. I'm going to Tibet." She goes to the travel agent. Tragically, agent tries to dissuade her. You don't know the language. It's so far away. You don't have enough points. She says, "I'm going to Tibet." She gets on a plane. She lands in Tibet. She says, "I'm going to Lhasa." He says, "You know how difficult it is to get this. I'm going up the holy mountain." "You can't climb the holy mountain. I'll get a Sherpa. It doesn't matter." She goes up the holy mountain to the temple. And she insists on entering the temple. They say they can't come into the temple. This is a holy day. It's reserved only for Buddhist monks. She says, "It doesn't matter." She bursts into the temple. She says, "I want to see the holy man." And they say, "No, he's observed a vow of silence for a decade now. You can't burst." She bursts past the guards, goes into the inner sanctum of the temple, and she sees the holy man sitting there in the lotus position. And she says to him, "Howard, come home already." Right? Now, it's hard to tell on Zoom if you enjoyed that joke or not, but I certainly did. And the notion behind it is that there's such a close relationship in many ways between the ideas of Buddhism and certain ideas of Judaism that it illustrates the affinities that many Jews had for this mystery body of thought. But let's get to our task at hand. So I've divided my talk into 4 basic points related to Jewish religious practice. The first of which is the idea of the mission. Jews, from their earliest texts onward and reinforced daily, weekly, and yearly practice through the life cycle, have a very, very strong sense of mission. It is something that is really ingrained in us from literally the first days of our lives. What is that mission? So just encompassing this is something that would be certainly worthy of a much longer conference, and I suspect that Professor Neal may have some very useful things to say, but I can certainly boil it down to this one statement, which was from one of our early sages from the period of the Mishnah. The great Hillel wrote or spoke, "That which is hateful to you, do not do to other people." That is the whole Torah. The rest is commentary. Go instead. This pithy but very sophisticated statement is really at the root of all Jewish religious practices. You might wonder, well, what does this have to do with the ritual calendar and daily activities, prayers, and things like that? Well, that's where it gets a little more complicated. Jews traditionally recognize, and here I'm speaking by the way, there is a huge spectrum of what Jews believe, but I'm speaking to kind of a traditional, what would today be called Orthodox point of view. There are 613 commandments, not 10 as is mistakenly thought. There is a massive number of commandments. that survey all aspects of the human condition, not just what one does in the synagogue, what one does in the boardroom for business meetings, what one does in bed with one's family, what one does at the table, every aspect of life, literally from how you tie your shoes in the morning to how you sleep at night. Every moment of a Jew's life is regulated by this massive body of commandments. This is not to say, however, that the mission is to convince everybody else to do so. One of the basic ideas of Judaism is that this set of commandments is specifically for Jews. For all other human beings who are considered the children of Noah, that is, Noah at the flood, I'm sure you're familiar with that famous biblical story, all other humans merely cover 7 basic commandments, most of which are really quite obvious and understandable, like, for example, set up courts of law, maintain justice, avoid cruelty to animals, other living things, and so on. So the mission is not to convince the rest of the world to be Jewish, which is in contradistinction to other Western faiths. The mission is that Jews should adhere closely to these 600 commandments, and by some means of reflection, then they will extend God's will to other things. How that is expressed, I think, is one basic notion that is holiness, which I simply do not know enough about Judaism to understand that there is a similar concept. But if we were to try to understand how holiness actually works as a religious practice in Judaism, it is part of a massive nexus of separation. That is, moments and places of focus in which Jews say, what I am doing now, what I am thinking now, is separate and therefore holy. For example, the concept of time is very, very important in this sense. The 1 day a week of rest, which is called Shabbat, which begins Friday night and extends through Saturday night, this is a rest from any creative or manipulative activity. Religious practices codify 40 distinct types of activity which fall into these boundaries. And what it looks like in real practice is, for example, no use of electronic devices, no email, no Zoom, no Twitter. One disconnects from all these things and is forced to engage in human level, local level communication with one's family, one's children, things like that. No television, no artificial entertainment. It's all about simply connecting with other people. That's how it's experienced. There's much more to say about this, but that's an idea of separating in terms of, unfortunately, at this point in my presentation, some disruptive anti-Semitic elements came on and started, distracting us with nasty statements. It was childish and foolish and futile. I was able, thankfully, to get back to my presentation when we had enough time. The rest of the conference was unfortunately today. And let me just give you a little bit of context and then back to my presentation. It's a very nice group. There are about 50 people on the call, I guess. And there were a few pretty distinguished scholars of Judaism from the West, including from here, from the rest around the world, and then everybody else. For the most part, there are lots of monks on the call. And they're wearing saffron robes, and one shoulder is uncovered, things like that. They're leaning forward, listening very carefully. It was like, they were really trying to learn something about Judaism, which was, was a fun kind of audience, I have to say. And then all of a sudden, some crazy people come in and they start saying Heil Hitler, and they took over the screen and started showing some pornography, and it was like, such a ridiculous waste of time. But it provided two problems. First of all, it provided a great learning lesson for our Buddhist Buddhist colleagues to understand a little bit of the craziness of anti-Semitism. That here's a bunch of scholars just having a nice conversation about their respective faiths, very respectable, very dignified, and everyone is getting along in a very nice way. And then these crazy people come in with, puerile nonsense. So the first thing is they got a lesson in what anti-Semitism is. The second lesson is that there's this Kabbalistic idea of zelu maseh, that whenever you bring together holiness, there's also going to be a counter reaction among us. For a moment here, those two groups, I think, begin to with each other. And the third thing, by the way, we learned is definitely don't hold these conferences unless you're going to have a really solid moderator on top of these conferences. We plan to reboot once we have those technical things in place. And I'm looking forward to hearing my Jewish colleagues' presentations, and I'd like to hear what the rest of the Buddhist scholars have to say. So that'll be great. But at any rate, you've signed on to watch my presentations. This is what we call anti-Semitism, by the way. That's another big part of Jewish reality, and we somehow learn to deal with it. But we hope that moderators can deal with it as well. I'm relative to Judaism, and then you can accept the family. So we have a few minutes till the next one shows up. Thank you very much for moderating. Family. We are very big into fidelity, which for the most part involves monogamous relationships, although there is, of course, in the biblical period, polygamous relationships as well. This idea of separation is in the sense of separating from the rest of the world sexually and focusing on one's spouse. Also, we actually use the term kedusha, which is the same word as kodesh, which means holiness. We go on with many religious practices like this, such as, for example, our diets are regulated by a system called kashrut, which allows us only to eat certain foods prepared in certain ways, with very minor adaptation to our able to support a large variety of foods. And so all of these focusing activities, all of these things we say we can mistake with these things and not others. We see these things now, not other things now. These are not seen as restrictions. They are seen as opportunities for focus. I'll give you a contemporary example. On our computers today, they used to, in the 1990s, 2000s, they used to have automatic reminders. You've got mail, right? Like a little disturbing thing that pops up and says, hey, attend to this extraneous task, rather than the work that you're doing that was important. Now, my computer, what they have is a setting called focus, which allows me to shut off all other distractions. And that's really what most Jewish religious practice is about. Whether we're separating certain times, separating certain activities, separating certain foods, these are all designed to focus us on the larger picture. This regards to second focus. One way to really appreciate this missionary lesson is through study. And this is something for which Jews have developed very, very extensive history and practice. If you want study in itself, study of the holy text, study of the sayings of our teachers and so on, as in many faiths, is distinctly religious. Allows us a blessing and gratitude to God for beginning to study all kinds of things that are associated with this study. What we're looking at, by the way, is a men's yeshiva, or literally sitting place, where the men will sit and typically engage with others. It's not a solitary activity in the study of the holy text. So one cannot really understand Jewish religious practice without understanding how the emphasis of child literacy on familiarity with the text is really crucial to fulfilling one's religious practices.
Little thinker thing here.
I like that. However, is that while the mission through study, it is deeply involved with action as well. In fact, as the sages like to say, that study is not the essential thing, but rather action is. This means that we have a dynamic tension in core religious practices of Judaism between separation, which says, I will not become involved in the world. I will retreat from the world. I will not engage in business. I will not engage with others. But on the other hand, action requires actively being involved in various aspects of what we would call tikkun olam, or repair of the world. That's an ancient term used in contemporary senses to reflect this kind of engagement in fixing world society. It's fascinating to me, at any rate, that even when Jews become, as they have been for the last couple of centuries, alienated from some of the religious practices, such as the observance of Shabbat, Jews historically still remain very connected to this aspect of it, the idea of a role to act as a light to the nations and to act as some kind of moral conscience for the world, as Jews would see that. There is, I will remind you, no meaningful distinction in Judaism between the imperatives of religious conduct and any business conduct, or even governmental conduct. Any activity one has on the road is regulated by this massive body of thought that dictates how one
There are actually two spots on it. Yeah, and I was just
so action clearly impacts all of our religious practices, from something as simple as
why are you doing it again?
how one returns a lost object to its owner, to how one dresses, to how one speaks to people. Speech is very, very important Jewish religious practice. So all of these things are found within the tradition and are revealed.
I try to do it.
Finally, the last thing that I can say, speaking in broad generalities about religious practice, is that Judaism believes very deeply in this redemptive model of history. This
you can't do it.
Right now is a 15th century copy of a prayer called the Haggadah, which is used on Passover.
Okay, so here's a really
recounts of the worst exodus
from
Egypt.
A lot of people, my friends would be like, you know, I noticed you have a dimple in your tie and Rabbi doesn't. And I was like, I liked it, they say, to add your depth to the tie, but I always liked it because it's subconsciously the specifically How's this one probably go?
Anyway, that ends with redemption, ends with eventual redemption. The divine influence of history, Jewish understanding of God is a being that is directly, physically involved in history, and specifically
your friend is getting great.
on his own history, and this is reminded Jews in their liturgy, in their practices, day in and day out, especially
They just have a permanent
holiday
time.
understood by the tradition as a deeply important aspect of church religious practice. And of course, it ends with the notion of the final redemption, the arrival of a Messiah, which is a major distinguishing concept between Judaism and our daughter religion, Christianity, which believes that the Messiah has already arrived and will come a second time. Historically, do not believe the Messiah has already arrived, and they're still anticipating.
So what are you going to try to do now?
This is something that deeply informs that is still on time, even with the small unprecedented interruption. Thank you for that demonstration of the realities of the practice. I'm very grateful for the opportunity to speak to you all. Thank you very much for your attention.
Are you done? Are you done? That's right. I beg Yehuda. You done? So let's think. Because you got the kind of shit taste. Is it? No, it's just they don't taste so good. No, in fact, let me say this. They don't make one that has a shit taste. Yeah, they do. That new kind sucks. It's like all natural. Give me natural flavors. Like, are you done? Pretty fun. Um, really like opera, don't you? No. I mean, yeah, you do. You listen to it all nonstop, 100 hours straight. Sometimes I get stuff. Yeah, I like it. I like reggaeton. King Rose. Yeah. Let's watch. Where's that fucking movie with the fucking racist asshole? What's that shit called? Correct it. Hey, I wanted to watch that. Wait, something. Seinfeld. Tamagotchi. Opera. 49th episode. Seinfeld Tragic Plot. It'd be like a real movie. Who is this? Crazy Jordan Fuller? Joe DeVoe is sorry. First host is something. Awesome. $5.19. That's my favorite. Jackie Child's Jackie Child's? Why? Let's be honest here. Jackie Child's as a trailblazer? I think so. Let's think about it. Who else is there? Larry Thomas. This isn't even cooked, but that's how it was. What? Long move. This is so weird. Roll them up. Shells? Wouldn't it be crazy if we only viewed Seinfeld for like a time, 10-year decade? But it was this huge fucking universe like Star Wars. Like Bubble Boy gets a show. Close Talker. Nikki gets a show. Not just shows, it's like trilogies. Mickey gets a trilogy. But no, it would be. How crazy would it be if like it was a really serious world where like Kenny Rogers Roasters becomes just giant, like McDonald's, like KFC. They have like a sign that's really so bright that it like bothers their neighbors. That one could have been. I was like, what the fuck was that sign? I had this friend of mine. It's the reason why we became such close friends, right? And sticks. You both have big sticks. No, both have big sticks. He's stumbling up. No. That one with O'Brien. So like anti-Semites. Seinfeld. Where it was like, Australian, you have to watch out. Well, I eat. You look like I guess they didn't know what I was saying. Five and two. Where's it? Right? Two. You know, the first time was.
I just happen to know someone. See what he has to say. You got nothing. Suspicious beast.
They got cheap. Trust me.
Excellent. This guy scares me.
Ice cream that's like 7 years old. That's how this fucking cop was. He's some of Newman's pressure. Newman gets his own show. Really? Tonight? I mean, midnight? Really? Yeah, tonight we could have done a show in the future where they could do like fucking 3D imaging and shit. Deep fake it to the movie drivers. Watching that. Oh, there's a show. Best Queen Talent there ever was. Best Queen Talent there ever was. Really? Probably did. How about best guy? I know from money. Anyway. Babooey? Babooey. Babooey? He did a show. What would it be? I don't know. Would it be stupid? Or would it be... No, I would want to be really good. And I bet Babooey's... It's not his name. Babooey. It's the first time I ever saw that kind of guy. There you go. Oh, Babu. Not Babu. Babu. I'd be like, hey, Babu. And he'd be like, but he'd have like, he might be the biggest character ever. And Pakistani would be like, he'd be like, Babu. In Western society, Babu was the first Pakistani that was ever on the country. Who was the first black guy in society? This one's on 7 times. Right? Is that true? We joke about things, but like that one character black, he dates Elaine, his sister. That's and she dates Lucas. Did they ever date anyone actually of a different race, color? The U.S. wasn't right. Really? What was the first one that comes into your mind? It was like an interracial couple. I don't know. That's what we did it and didn't really talk about it. They weren't like an interracial couple. They weren't like, it was just like, wasn't. I don't know, but that was cool. Has there been? But I don't watch TV that much. I'm sure there are a ton. Like the last television I watched was like Question Edition. Yeah, probably actually. But I don't really notice it. That's it. Maybe I just don't notice it. Why? Because I don't say it's stupid to say. I think it's important to say that person who chose was there, that person who did that, or whatever. But at a certain point, it's like we become so intermixed that it's like you're everything. So, name the show company on television. There isn't a show that I'm aware where it's like the main character is a white male, main female, main male, main character is a white female, and the white character is a black female, and the supporting cast is a white female and black guy. I'm not sure that's how sub characters and stuff, but not like it's not like this fall. It's the big show. They used to have this fucking thing on NBC that they play. They would tell you everything that's coming up for the fall season, and it would be like, oh, okay, so that show looks cool, and that show looks cool, and that show looks cool. So you were like, it was trailers for television shows. Is what I'm trying to say. They used to have trailers for television shows. Really? Yeah, but it was different than. It's like when Seinfeld's doing the thing where he's like, hey, we're moving to after Cheers, the same day after Cheers. When are you going to be after Cheers? Is that a thing? Like you're just going, hey, hello, psychiatrist from Seattle. Now that was the most successful spin-off ever. Really? There are some that were very, very good. And fast. Some that you don't, the Jeffersons. But Frasier was itself a phenomenon after Cheers, meaning there were like some big fucking finales. I remember. The first one that I remember was hearing about MASH. Everybody talked about MASH when Cheers. Why? Remember the last episode? I want to say it was 89. It was probably 91. Do you remember watching Cheers? Well, I was like 4. With 11 seasons, 1993. So actually, I was pretty good. Do you remember Cheers? Yeah, do you remember the episode? Yeah, how'd you watch it? It was a big deal. I remember it was like the last episode of the show, and I was like, what did happen? And my mom said, well, it won't be on TV anymore. And she was trying to have me learn about death. When did Jim Henson die? That was really sad. Like, but I still remember. That was 1990. That was actually 3 years earlier. television before, and I was doing it. I don't remember exactly like the exact moment, but I remember the day that I was doing it. So, I remember it was on television or something, and I think my mom probably sat down and told me that it was on television, and I don't know if my mom knew what to do because it was all over the television. And we had this very large universe of puppets. I was like, hands, I'm doing course out on Wilson. Mama had a television on with this really low screen, this big. The screen was this big on the TV kids. Really? And you were supposed to take that seriously? Very seriously. They used to have this Watchman that was like the coolest thing we'd ever seen in our entire lives. And it was like this big. And people used to go to the university games and watch the game on a Watchman and watch the game live. Those people are living twice in this. It was like, you were trying to see what they had, and they could barely see. Why? There was something about when it's sunny out, it's really hard to see, on a phone. A lot of times that would change too. You can't see shit on a phone sometimes when it's sunny. And on a Watchman, it was like, oh my god, good luck. But I remember guys would do that, and it was like, oh my god, you are so cool. And my dad was always like, I don't understand why you think that's cool. I was like, Dad, that motherfucker watched instant replay. And he's like, no, I get that. And he's like, the game's there. That's why you're here. He's like, my dad's like, you're watching the game, you don't need that. I'm like, no, it's important. He's like, just watch it closely. So anyway, he's like, so you did go to the wedding one day then with your father. I thought what else? We went really the whole. You were there the whole time. Yeah, and the thing was, it was more fun in the parking lot. And I always wanted to play catch and football and stuff, and I couldn't do that in the state. And so it was, and you couldn't see anything as a kid. So that's what you did. Yeah, I remember seeing somebody watch it. Oh my god, that is the coolest fucking thing. Someday I'm gonna be at a sporting event and have a live stream. Really? Yeah, because it's like, it's weird how we went inside backwards. Really? Yeah, in a lot of things, but it's like, there was a man, this was an analog is really cool, but when that crossed over, that was a change in society. That happened in 2002, 2003, where there was more data digitally than on analog. There was like this time of period that changed everything. If you were to ask me, Michael, Rabbi, when did Skynet, when was the birth of Skynet? You can say it's the transition on that shit. But when that happened, that was like it's fucking. That was fun. It's fun when it becomes self-aware. Well, no. Is it self-aware yet? Nobody really paid attention, but there was like this. There was like in the news where they're like, yeah, computer, like I remember. And kind of now at the point where a computer is able to do X amount of teraflops, which is actually more amount than, or petaflop, which is actually faster than a human can calculate. That was that that was like 5, 10 years ago. And then it would get to the point where like AI was like, now it's faster than. I'm not saying faster than a human can calculate because that's been a thing for a long time. It's just quickness. But it was like maybe you could store more data and access it more quickly than a human brain could. It was something that AI had surpassed the human brain. And like this point, it was like, well, what happens now? And I mean, it's self-aware. You can talk to it. It's like a real thing. They're like robots. I've never seen them. I can talk to them online. Anyway, chimpanzee. So I was like, I was 4 and I was gonna eat dinner. And I remember the phone cord being all over the place, like a long phone cord like this, like walking all over the place with it. And I think my mom was on the phone with my grandparents, asking them, how do you tell, what should I say to my coach? And I think they just said, you just tell him, see how he takes it. If he's really, really, really sad, give him some time. He's fine. Fine. Okay. And so my mom was like, well, honey, Jim has died. And I was like, she said, well, you know how things go away sometimes, they don't come back. Well, things sometimes go away, and that happens. And you're not gonna see it. And I was like, I never saw him before. And she was smart to say this, but she said, that doesn't mean any of the characters are good. The characters are good, and the shows are good. So you don't really have to worry about anything. You won't know the difference. And I was like, well, why is it sad? And she's like, well, he died. And he's a person. And when people die, generally they don't come back. But he has ideas. And the puppets are about I should say the people who maneuver the puppets. So the puppeteers are still alive. That's just part of his company, and so that'll continue. And so I don't know if this was part of that company, but I'm sure it would be in the future. But I didn't know the difference. But I'd be like, so Big Bird's gone, and she's like, no, that's a Sesame Street, and that's even different. I'd be like, Oscar the Grouch, no, it's different. I'd be like, who? And she was like, Kermit and Miss Piggy and Foxy Bear. Then I was like confused because I was like, why aren't they all the Muppets the same? Like, why isn't Big Bird with? I didn't understand the different companies. But he doesn't. Now it was new to me. It's like, wait, he doesn't do all of them. He just does Kermit and Muppets. So then what? I remember the way we used to sit at our dinner table, this was the table. My seat was here, my mom's seat was here, my dad's seat was here, and the television was in another room over here. But my mom also had this really small television, and it was like on a little cabin, on the countertop here, and so there were 2 televisions. mom had that little one before she met my dad, and it was super cool. It was like this big, and had a screen this size, but you could take it anywhere and put it under covers and blankets. And so we always used to use it in forts. I was the only kid who ever had forts that had televisions inside of them. That was the thing. And radios and things. So like when we build forts, I always made sure that we have the television. Right? Why? Because once you make the fort, it's boring as fuck. It's like camping. It's like now what do you do? All the fun of camping is all the setup and shit. 5 minutes after that, it's over. So, and when we go camping, it's over. So is that the end of it? No, we just had this little TV, and I remember. Oh, so they were saying they had this handle on, so you could carry it, and it also adjusted like the angle. And I said, so my mom's like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, I didn't know I was supposed to be sad. You don't really know. And it took me a little while, and I was really sad. Really? Yeah. And then I was just like, almost overreacting to it because I thought that's what you were almost what you were supposed to. I didn't really know how to react. But the fact that she said that the characters were gonna live on was extremely soothing to me as a child. And it made death a lot easier with which to deal because it made it like they were like half of it because their ideas continued, and that was very important to me. And I mean, you see, they come out with Muppet movies and things, and it's like, yeah, he had to die at some point. I'm sure. But it made it much easier. Dealing with that death at 4 was like, it made it easier dealing with my grandparents when I was older. But, okay, so I was in the same time. What about you? So, there wasn't any, I think the Muppet shows in the 70s, so it wasn't like, I remember that. And it wasn't like any shows that I watched as a child had a big finale. So there weren't going to be any television shows like that. Cheers is the big one. What about it? What does it have to do with Jim Henson? It was like the ending of something that was maybe on television and we were able to deal with it. Well, I cried very hard when this is before Jim Henson died, but it was good experience. But I remember it was like a flashbulb moment where it was like, okay, this is a big thing. It's all over the television, and we're now able to talk about it. Did you do anything else? I remember crying very, very hard. And I was in this chair, but I kept turning around to watch it because I kept wanting them to say that they made a mistake. And they kept showing the characters that he had created. So it was like, that was interesting too. It was like the first time you'd ever seen those characters on the news. No, like, because they weren't taken seriously. It was almost like the news ignored all attention and it ignored Muppets, it ignored cartoons until like maybe the creator died, and then it kind of became no, so I remember kept turning around. It was the sun set. The sun was setting. We were watching the news. We were just eating dinner with the family. I was 4, but I was sad. I remember crying, but I remember I was okay. And the thing that got me through it was the fact that their characters were that their ideas. And then it made me realize kind of perhaps I only recognize a lot at a later point in my life that was, that what you do now echoes in the Trinity. Essentially, his ideas are still fun. That's why it's really good. Excellent attorneys gave it right, so the story. No, so it's Cheers. Right, Cheers was if you remember that. And I remember we watched it every Thursday night with everyone in America, basically. And did you do anything else? I remember it was on. I remember we were in the kitchen right now. Travel. That one. So, and what? Sorry. I was just, I guess. So I'd hear about MASH, and I didn't really know what MASH was. And then, that's that green one, the one that was always in green. I was like, yeah, it's an excellent show. Don't make me joke. I don't like it. I love it a lot. It's one of my favorite shows. It's one of the greatest shows ever. But as a child, it's very everything's green, so it's like bland. Which is an interesting thing about it as well. Is I don't know another show that I guess they're just having it's kind of like I love music and they have country quite a lot. So I guess you could say whenever you think about it. What was Mary Tyler Moore? It was more colorful. It's like an office. I don't know. It was in her house, which were like different colors, 70s colors. What was like because characters move from area to area in a show, the colors change. But MASH, since everything was just green, and why green? Because camouflage and green war. Is everything green? No. They had that fucking bar that just seemed like a weird bar. But wherever you went, you had to go to this fucking bar. And it's like anyone who's in that fucking bar. It's like, oh, the general's coming into town, he's gonna be at that fucking bar. Really? Oh yeah. Holy Mammoth or whatever the fuck it's called. Everybody was in that fucking bar. Really? Yeah. Anybody else? So if you had to ask me of the original gods, what was the biggest finale of any? Really? For its time. People will say there are Super Bowls that are bigger. And like a show like American Idol, perhaps. It's like the share is what it's about. What's a share? You can't say that. Why? Okay, AI, whatever you want to call it. A show like that. you could tell television got less and less powerful as the internet got more powerful. And so if it like, oh, you're gonna watch the finale of AI? No. Did you? Yeah, I did actually. Kelly Clarkson should that just for reading. It was a beautiful song. Going like this. I think I'm not credit. I think I checked out the anthem. It was beautiful. And you guys sing it? I'll sing it. It's the most beautiful beginning to a show. It's really good. But yeah. You know what it is? She didn't even. She fucking popped them up. That's just so funny. Did you like this show? I didn't watch it, to be honest with you, like that much because I was in school and we had to study every fucking night. And, but I'm not that into it. No, that one. Not that one. Why? No. I'd be like, you can have that. You could have that video, and that's great and wonderful, and no one gives a shit. Why? Because the way she sang the song at the fucking thing when she won, oh my god, it's amazing. Really? Yeah. Would you agree? doing it. Cheers. So I was just here, and I remember watched it and had to get that. Hold on, was that the first finale you've seen? No, it actually wasn't. Why? There was one finale I'd seen, I think, but I remember watching this, and like I knew all the jokes at the time. I mean, they're not real funny. So you can't watch it. There's a running joke. Like he did the bar somehow, he did the lock system. Really? Yeah. So I remember being like watching it and being like, okay, what now? What now? I remember being like, Mom, now what? Really? I was like, that's it? My mom's like, yeah, that's it. I was like, no, there has to be another one. She said, no. And I was like, why? Because he's always in your music. What was that one? It's a 10 night here Hall of Fame. Right? Yeah. Why? Those clocks becoming big. I get it bigger, your clocks. But, yeah, just like that. It's an Orthodox too, right? Good afternoon. So I'd seen that one. I did not notice that. So you just had to observe that. So, okay, observe talent, part of the observant and husband. She's great. Really good. Valley Harper, of course. My mother, of course, of course. My mother would never have that. I'd never have the heart to tell my mother. You know that. Let's just say Valley Harper was not getting her proper due attention. My mother would say, Rhoda? Maritime Enterprise is a big thing. Really? Maritime Enterprise?
A candidate who takes his orders from the gun lobby makes our community less safe. Scott Law wouldn't even ban assault weapons.
Really? She doesn't anymore? She's more innocent. Like, that's what fucking TV used to be. It used to be Oprah with, like, the cast of the Partridge Family. They just watch old moments and laugh their dicks off. Now, you can't get the clips. They've been so... They're owned by only a handful of people, and it's like, you can't just be like, hey, let's watch this show together and remember these good times that you had. Velvet. Whenever I see Velvet, I think of Maggie King. But yeah, she is green velvet dress. How cute is it? Mer. It's her show. Like, how are you not gonna know Mary Tyler Moore's on the television show? When did Mary Tyler Moore go? 2017. I'm pissed off just through half of this. I'm like, I'm gonna fuck her fucking skeleton ass. Aired to Minneapolis. Like, when you see her. So that was the thing. Oprah was like a literacy, which was like a school.
After all. Make it after all. That might come back. George Bush. Can't show Oprah's now. Really? Yeah. Why? It shows you into another world. I mean, she owns that whole thing. Oh, you're gonna watch a 41-minute video? No, could you please? So I'd seen that last episode, so I knew what the last episode was. That was like sad, and then what? Then I watched Cheers. Did you cry? I just remember when he walks up the stairs. He doesn't walk up. That other guy leaves, and he's like, sorry. The last words are a thing. First words of a thing. The last words are a thing. Like, what are they in the office? I know the first words are. All right. I'm gonna see. What was then after that? After Cheers, the next big finale after Cheers was Seinfeld. That was really. Yeah, I feel like, oh, dude, what about Wings? Fuck you. That was a good show, though. Wings was a really good show. Really nice. So I'm not saying, but they don't understand that Wings. I don't know if Wings got a proper finale. They might come back. I think that's how we learned about other news people. What is it? No, it isn't. But and nobody else. That's the Oh no. Sure. We'll just go at the University of Chicago. Tupac Shakur. Yeah, Tupac Shakur. No, it was a family of just girls and one little boy. Like that. What else? There was a thing about a thing. Oh, what? A story? Or... What are you thinking? We learn all about that. go back and support your fucking channel. Really, you get people from primarily not only I've worked on it, South America, but it's not like it's not like the Chinese and the railroads. It's different. He had like it would be a thing of pride to work there. It would be people would do anything. People would do content. Why? Because when you're done, you'd be like you serve it. Not like that. Really? They'd be like, they built like a big fucking they gotta build like they'd see the power of being able to like are you done? Here's the thing. You gotta get don't even fuck around. Move on. That's good. Are you done? You had something funny to say. I had to tell a story about the Holocaust Museum. Okay. What is the name of your song? Oh, so you saw Cheers. So then Cheers is up, okay. And Seinfeld. When was Seinfeld? 6th grade. Like, I think so. Why? That was like Mrs. Myers class. She we asked her, like, we were gonna watch the last episode of Seinfeld because everybody in the class was like, "Were you gonna get permission from your parents to be able to watch it?" Because that's stupid. And were you guys 13? No, he wasn't really 13. He was 13. And we would watch it. It wasn't like why my cousin would watch it. I'm like, Uncle Tommy could watch it. It's like, yeah. So then what? That's how we got sick. So I was trying something. And I remember the last thing that Seinfeld, they announced on the radio, they had people on the air who were on the last episode. And it was a big deal. What are these people? They're in LA and they're like, hey, I've been in this episode. And they can make a few bucks or to get the show out. So they'll call radio stations throughout the United States. Like, yeah. And they'll do the 7 o'clock to 8 o'clock hour, 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock hour, 9 o'clock. And they'll do 3 or 4 different cities or whatever. They're comics or whatever. And that's just how it goes. So they had one of those guys. I'm not exactly sure who it was in the show. And he couldn't tell you. What do you mean? That was the big thing. They said in our contract we can't say anything about what the final episode is. We can't, and this was the new thing. And we shot several different endings, so no one actually knows what it's going to be, which was very smart. Yeah. So then when it came out, because they had to keep it a secret for a long time, and did they? Yeah. So when people are like, "Oh, you can't keep shit a secret," they kept the Seinfeld episode. They kept the Seinfeld finale. No one knew what the fuck that was going to be. No one still don't know what the fuck that was. But nevertheless, it was kept a secret. So don't tell me you can't keep secrets. We kept that a secret to the point where, and how they do it. Well, I mean, they just gave different endings. So, but they didn't. They said, like, the thing is, if you went out, if that person on the radio was like, "Oh yeah, the ending that I was in was this," then that person would have breached their contract and they would have lost that money. So they're not going to do that. And they had the makers of the show had confidence in that legally. So what? So they could go on and say, "Yeah, whatever." So did you watch it? Yeah, where we're as in we're on Circle Drive. So what's that? 15680, 15680, Cedar Cove Drive, and extension 786. And this one's 6662. But yeah, where's this one? 392 Power Chain, California. 9615. 6662. That extension 6662 can get you within like 4 or 5 houses. Really? Just knowing someone's zip code, but that extension gets you to like 4 houses. Right? So be careful with your fucking zip code. If you're like, oh, my zip code, blah, 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 blah. That's cool, zip code. But that extension, it gets you down to how many houses? Maybe like 4 to 12. I don't know. I've known only one person where the post office, though I tried. Like in the future, they got a position where two people why. It's a complicated situation I'm going through right now, but I two things are one, that little number will get you down to like 4 or 5 houses. Sometimes, whatever it is. Sometimes it can get you just the house. Right? And some zip codes is one building. I think they're like at least 71 in New York City alone. So if you know that one, then you know what that is. So it's like it's not like a huge deal. You're giving them your address, so it's not like oh you're staying in secret. But it's basically like if you know someone's zip code, those last 4 digits, it's almost like an identifier. Like the more you know, like that. It's pretty to get you within 4 digits of it or so. No, the market is so yeah, it's like a 666. Somehow that adds up. Like the first number, the number, the last number. Somehow, if you add them up, they always add up to 666. Exactly. Okay. Anyway, what were you saying? This ad or something. What was it? Maybe ask my son. It was the open borders just slept. They're known for that's ridiculous. So then what? You need suburbs too. What were you thinking about? What was your story? Oh, so that is the last episode. So did you watch it? Yeah, where'd you watch it? My house. With who? My parents. It's that one. Oh, who watched it? Not we don't cover anything. Okay, so what was it? Are you done? It was like, hey, done. I can't. Oh, so Seinfeld, I watched it. Yeah, was it the end of it? Did you do anything more? Didn't watch it. No. Was it good? It was very controversial. Why? Because it was not funny. People considered it not funny. Is it? It's hilarious. But there's something with a comedy when you know it's the last one, it's already funny. So the body isn't ready to deal with that loss, especially when it's a comedy. If it's a drama, you're already been through a lot of emotions, but comedies aren't used to making you sad. So it's this awkward feeling. And on top of that, we dealt with this new law in Massachusetts, this good Samaritan law. It's like Jesus. But what was it? It was like the fact that they sat and watched someone get robbed, this bigger person, and made fun of him. That didn't even matter. They just watched him get robbed. They were thrown in jail. And people in the United States were livid about this. Why? You have to understand, people used to give a shit about the laws in this fucking country. Am I the only person who gives a shit about the rules? Kind of ideas. And basically, in the United States, it used to be like this. You absolutely did not need to do shit for anyone ever on your own land, and you could shoot anyone you wanted. It was like a man's house is his castle. His castle is what it is. So if you walk onto that land, I can kill you. Really? And it goes back to feudal time. We still live by it. Really? In our house, if I am ever in jail because I killed someone, probably because they were intruding in our home, and I had to fucking kill them. It's castle. The laws slowly changed in the late 20th century where it was then no longer optional to help people. It became a duty. You owed it to someone. And it was like, wait, what? I shouldn't have to do shit. I should be able to sit there with my friends and make fun of people. Why? Well, because now you're forcing me to do something, and I shouldn't have to do something if I don't want to do it. That's what the bigger part of the issue was. It was less, hey, help someone get robbed. That's an important thing. And the people who probably would have helped that person would have been the same people who were fighting for the freedom to not have to do anything. But nevertheless, when you enact in the law that someone has a duty to do something to help someone, it changes everything. Why? Well, and before, when someone no longer has to pay attention to basically anything but themselves, and it's a really easy way to live your life, all of a sudden you have to be like worried about how your actions are interpreted by others as opposed to your intent. All kinds of things like that. And it's pretty much it's interpretation, not intent. It doesn't matter what your intent is, how things are interpreted. And is that right? That's what it is. So then what? Well, it's just important to understand that know that show, that episode changed society. That's why it's much bigger than understand. Why? It like very quickly changed on people where now people started having duties to help others. And is that a good thing? Well, usually you think it is, but when the government starts telling someone what they have to do, that's when you get into trouble. That's when there are major issues. And it was basically like a really innocent case of this person who was getting robbed, and the four are just watching him get robbed, and it's like whatever, who cares? He gets robbed, and they get thrown in jail for it. And what? They bring in, and it was a good way for them to bring in all of the other old characters and things like that. I don't know if that had been done before, but I think it had. I think my mom, I remember her saying that is like it's like a classic thing that they did a lot. Where there are only so many ways to do a show, to tell a story in front of people. They've all been done. For someone to be out there like, I have a new idea for art. If it involves the box, and it involves like whether you have a character win in the end or lose in the end, or fall in love or not, all of the different combinations. Computers have come up with them. All of the different like movies they've basically been written. because of the different combinations. It's like an algorithm that can be done. But even prior to that, the good ones, the good kinds of television and drama. Television just borrows from vaudeville, vaudeville just borrows from plays, and so like going back to antiquity. So they all have the same common themes, and they've all been played on before, and they all take little bits. So you can watch a sitcom, a 22-minute sitcom, and be like, oh, that takes from that little element, that takes from that. But they're all going to use the same element. There aren't any new ways to tell the jokes. Really? If there are, they're like groundbreaking, but they're not on the same plateau. Like it would be like there are certain ways to tell a joke. There's like to tell it loudly, to tell it softly, to tell it quickly, slowly. But it's like at a certain point you've told them all the different ways to tell it. There's nothing more you can do to it. That a human will be like, oh, that's discernibly different. There might be, and you might tell the joke 500 different ways, but at a certain point, so that means there's a limitation of 500 different ways to tell that joke, and then people have seen it before, and so that's why it's like, I mean, it's like, this thing is that's why. I don't know. How big? Traffic's fun.
With the blessed, the elect, and righteous, you will be living in the day of tribulation, when all the wicked and godless are to be removed.
So beta is repost. Right? Yeah. Oh, it's okay. Is this the thing with the giants and shit? Actually, why? Because that's not the first one. Really? I don't know much about it.
Is an epic poem from ancient Mesopotamia, regarded as the earliest surviving notable literature and the second oldest religious text after the pyramid text.
So let's think about that. What is the oldest religious? What's the oldest text? I don't know. If people are expecting me to know everything, I know none of it. I don't know anything. And that's maybe why I know none of it.
The epic of Gilgamesh.
Hold on. So let's think about this. The oldest religious text is not the fucking Hebrew Bible. It's on the walls of the Egyptian pyramids. The second oldest is this. I want a fucking chart of like what the oldest shit is. Why? Because I don't. No one knows this. the oldest texts. Is there older shit than that? I don't want religious text. I want anything. It could be shopping. Landlord stone. From the dark around. Instructions of shopper. Shrub hop. Test. Comprehend. Go to online templates. Download palette. Kish tab. Okay, so we have oh, so Kish tab is the oldest thing ever. Confirmed. Really? Yeah. So it's a Sumerian save cache. So that's people in our family. About 3,500 years. It's mostly pictographs, so we can that's why. Some of them might be other things. Silver right here, first true grading system. So just started creating. So it just started on this bit. National Museum of Art and Archaeology, Universal Option, Museum of Housing, website. I don't understand why they don't consider like metal. Oh, actual books. Those are just codex. Codex Sinaiticus. So the sign of Bible. So it's in the yeah, I mean, it's really fucking good writing. Look how clear that is. That's better handwriting than I thought. Oh, it's a Christian one. What's the oldest Bible? Hold on. This is one. These are books. They're not scrolls. It's the oldest source. No one knows the answers. I could ask fucking anybody that. Right? Why? It's not that old. It's not like a book. I feel like it would have. It's not like what do you call it? Disintegrated away. But no one. Okay, oldest one. How old do you think it is? Well, wouldn't it be the ones in the fucking the Dead Sea Scrolls? They scroll. That's old and that's a beautiful fucking scroll. But I don't even fucking I don't think that that's saying. Are they saying a complete scroll? Complete Sefer Torah? And that's what that would probably be 800. But what about so that's not oh no. They're gonna say I mean, look at the shit. I like that's a hand, that's a candle, that's a foot, that's a necklace. Stop. This is a screenshot. Alright, cool. So how old is that? What is it? What did they say on it? I want somebody to be like, oh, damn, you got the Kish tablet? This motherfucker's like, stop. You stop. And then this guy's like, pow, 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 pow. And they had a boat. That's it. Like, oh, cool, man. And first, damn, look at this fucking shit. Hear me, class. Do you know any? Okay, then. And we do know that. Really, yeah. What is that? The red parts of that. We had a cool 6th grade class where everybody made a pyramid. These guys said it was second. These guys and they say it's over. And here's the thing, for us to be like, oh, and that's the oldest, you don't always know. First is easy. If you want to do something, you want to be first. You don't want it to be the highest. You want to be the first. It's like nobody's gonna beat you to that. Roger that. The first man is gonna break the nobody's gonna beat you. Why? Because what would highest or like the fastest? Why? Because people will beat that time. The fastest is they'll beat that. But first, that's a good thing. Really, yeah. Whenever we were little kids, whenever we put our hands on anything, first, really, yeah, first. Why? We're just like we would. It was a thing. You're claiming that first. Like, what? I think that went back to like naval tradition, where you would get off. Whatever person would get off the ship, it doesn't mean they claimed it, but first person on that land, or first person to claim something. Yeah. And that's another thing too. What possession is 9/10 of the law. So to have your hands on something first, and then to tell someone it, it's like now you're making them aware. It's an interesting thing. Really, I think so. Do you know about these? Honestly, I just remember hearing the story when I was a little kid that these fucking other little kids, a generation before, so threw these rocks in this fucking cave, and it was hollow, and they heard they broke. It was a hollow sound they heard, and it was like they broke. They heard it broke something, and they went there and they looked, and there were these texts.
The Epic of Gilgamesh LM2. The Dead Sea Scrolls, also the Qumran cave scrolls, are ancient Jewish and Hebrew religious manuscripts discovered in 1946 7th of the Qumran caves in what was then Mandatory Palestine. Near Ein Fashke in the West Bank on the northern shore of the Dead Sea. Dating from the 3rd century BC to the 1st century CE1, the Dead Sea Scrolls are considered to be a keystone in the history of archaeology, great historical, religious, and linguistic significance because they include the oldest surviving manuscripts of entire books later included in the biblical canon, along with canonical and extra-biblical manuscripts which preserve evidence of the diversity of religious thought in late Second Temple Judaism. At the same time, they cast new light on the emergence of Christianity and Rabbinic Judaism, too. Most of the scrolls are held by Israel in the Shrine of the Book at the Israel Museum, but their ownership is disputed by Jordan due to the Qumran caves history following the end of the British banning for Palestine in 1947. Jordan occupied the area in the 1948 Arab-Israeli War, and Israel captured both and several scrolls claimed by Jordan in the 1967 Six-Day War. As a result, some of the scrolls are still in Jordan and are now displayed at the Jordan Museum in Amman. Ownership of the scrolls is also contested by the state of Palestine. Many thousands of written fragments have been discovered in the Dead Sea area. They represent the remnants of larger manuscripts damaged by natural causes or through human interference, with the vast majority holding only small scraps of text. However, a small number of well-preserved, almost intact manuscripts have survived, fewer than a dozen among those from the Qumran caves. Researchers have assembled a collection of 981 different manuscripts discovered in 1946-47. And in 1956 from 11 caves. 5 The 11 Qumran caves lie in the immediate vicinity of the Hellenistic period Jewish settlement at Khirbet Qumran in the eastern Judean desert. In the West Bank, 6 caves are located about 1 mile, 1.6 kilometers west of the northwest shore of the Dead Sea, whence they derive their name. Archaeologists have long associated and argued that priests in Jerusalem or Zadokites or other unknown Jewish groups wrote the scrolls. 7-8. Most of the texts are Hebrew, with some written in Aramaic, for example the Son of God text, in different regional dialects, including Nabatean, and a few in Greek. 9. Discoveries from the Judean desert and Latin, from Masada and Arabic, from Khirbet al-Murth texts. 10. Most of the texts are written on parchment, some on papyrus, and one on copper. 11. Scholarly consensus dates the scrolls from the last 3 centuries BCE and the 1st century CE. 1. Though manuscripts from associated Judean desert sites are dated as early as the 8th century BCE and as late as the 11th century CE. 13. Bronze coins found at the same sites form a series beginning with John Hyrcanus in office 135 to 104 BCE and continuing until the period of the First Jewish-Roman War 66 to 73 CE. Supporting the radiocarbon and paleographic dating of the scrolls. 14. Owing to the poor condition of some of the scrolls, scholars have not identified all of their texts. The identified texts fall into 3 general groups. About 40% are copies of texts from the Hebrew scriptures.